Power in ancient Rome was never protection. It was a countdown. Emperors ruled continents, generals commanded vast armies, and senators shaped the fate of the known world. Yet many of them died screaming. Some were strangled, some were stabbed while helpless, and some were torn apart by the very people they once ruled. This is not mythology and not exaggeration. These deaths are recorded by Roman historians themselves. This is the story of how Rome destroyed its most powerful men publicly, violently, and without mercy. Lucius Aelius Sejanus was not an emperor, but for years he held more power than one. As prefect of the Praetorian Guard, he controlled access to Emperor Tiberius himself. Senators feared him and citizens whispered his name. Sejanus believed he was untouchable. On October 18th, 31 AD, he walked into the Senate expecting honor. Instead, a letter from Tiberius was read aloud accusing him of treason. There was no debate, no defense, and no delay. Guards seized him immediately. Moments later, Sejanus was strangled with a cord and his body collapsed. But Rome was not finished. His corpse was thrown onto the Gemonian stairs, where enemies of the state were left for public punishment. For 3 days, the Roman mob descended on him. They tore flesh from bone, kicked what remained, and worked in shifts. By the end, nothing recognizable was left. His children were executed as well, his bloodline erased. Rome did not just kill traitors, erased them. Elagabalus became emperor at just 14 years old, and his reign was chaos. He offended the Senate, humiliated the military, and ignored Roman tradition. By age 18, his fate was sealed. On March 11th, 222 AD, the Praetorian Guard turned on him. Elagabalus and his mother fled not to a fortress, but to a latrine. They hid in filth, hoping the soldiers would pass by. They did not. The guards stormed in. Swords fell in the confined space, and blood mixed with waste on the stone floor. Elagabalus died, surrounded by human refuse. But humiliation did not end with death. His body was dragged through the streets, thrown into a sewer, recovered, and finally dumped into the Tiber River. Rome wanted no trace left behind. Emperor Caracalla ruled through fear. He murdered his own brother, ordered mass slaughters, and trusted no one. But paranoia could not save him. On April 8, 217 AD, during a military campaign, Caracalla stopped to relieve himself. Protocol demanded privacy. For a moment, the most powerful man in Rome stood alone. A soldier named Julius Martialus approached from behind. Caracalla never saw him. The blade entered his back, slipping between the ribs. The emperor collapsed, bleeding into the dust. He died urinating on the roadside. Moments later, Martialus was cut down by guards. Rome lost an emperor during the most human moment imaginable. Marcus Licinius Crassus was the richest man in Rome, wealthy beyond imagination. But wealth was not enough. He wanted glory. Against all advice, he invaded Parthia. It was a disaster. At the Battle of Carrhae, his army was destroyed. Desperate, Crassus agreed to negotiate. It was a trap. He was killed during the chaos, but the Parthians were not finished. They poured molten gold into his mouth, a symbol of his greed, then cut off his head. Later, during a royal performance, Crassus's real head was used as a stage prop. The richest man in Rome became entertainment. Marcus Tullius Cicero was Rome's greatest orator. Words were his weapon, and that made him dangerous. Mark Antony ordered his death. When soldiers found Cicero, he did not run. He leaned forward and offered his neck. The blade fell cleanly, but Antony wanted more. Cicero's head and both hands were cut off and nailed to the rostra, the very platform where he once delivered his greatest speeches. Antony's wife, Fulvia, stabbed Cicero's tongue with a hairpin. Rome did not just kill voices, it punished them. Emperor Galba ruled for only 7 months. He cut military bonuses, and the guards turned on him. In the Roman Forum, soldiers attacked his litter, slit his throat, and cut off his head. They mounted it on a lance and paraded it through the streets, mocking his boldness and age. The emperor became a joke. In Rome, even death offered no dignity. Pertinax tried to restore discipline and order. The Praetorian Guard wanted money. When he refused, 300 soldiers stormed the palace. Pertinax met them unarmed and tried to speak. A spear ended the conversation. They hacked him down, cut off his head, and mounted it on a lance. Later, the Praetorian Guard auctioned the imperial throne to the highest bidder. Rome had turned power into a marketplace. Rome did not fall because of barbarians alone. It collapsed under betrayal, greed, and violence. Power did not protect its rulers. It isolated them. In ancient Rome, the higher you climbed, the harder you fell. And when you fell, Rome made sure everyone watched. In the end, power did not grant mercy, it guaranteed a brutal end.